Welcome to the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel. I'm your host, ArmaniTalks. In this channel, I'm covering communication skills for you to level up your way with words and become much more articulate. In today's episode, I'm going to be answering the question, is politics a waste of time? The reason that this question has gotten my curiosity as of late is because this is one of those fields that my mind has changed on. If you were to ask me, 16-year-old Armani, is politics a waste of time? I would have been like, no, of course not. Politics is all around us. And whether you care about politics or not, it's going to find you and it's going to make you care about it. So the 16-year-old Armani would have been like, you must care about politics. And at that stage, what I was doing was I was watching a lot of these political debate shows, and I was looking for clips strategically to see when my side would destroy the other side. That's something that I enjoyed doing a lot. But roughly around 22 to 23 years old, my mindset started to shift. I was like, why care about politics? I mean, to me, it just seems like glorified gossip. And the more that I think about it, the more that I realize unless you want to be a politician, you shouldn't care about it. You should not watch it at all. You should not even be aware of a lot of the latest drama that these media organizations are cooking up. What's even the point, right? But nowadays, I'm at that stage where I'm in the middle ground territory for my 16-year-old self and my 22-year-old self, where I see both sides. And that's something that's very difficult to do, seeing both sides. My philosophy is, at this stage of my life, I must remain aware of what's going on, but I can't let it engulf my life. Because when I let it engulf my life, it's one of those things that has zero ROI returns unless I plan on doing something politically related for the time being. What I've noticed is that people who are not lifelong politicians focus more on politics later on in their life once they have more resources, more power, and more understanding of real world issues, where they're not just choosing one side and being like, this is the only right side, and I'm only going to take in information to further validate this side. At this stage in their life, they understand both sides of the coin. And one great example of this is Arnold Schwarzenegger. I was reading his memoir, autobiography recently, and as I was reading the book, I saw this very stunning transformation of me to us transformation throughout his career. If you've never heard of Arnold Schwarzenegger, he started off as a bodybuilder. He came from Austria to the United States of America, and he worked his way up, and he was able to make bodybuilding something that was well known. But think about bodybuilding real quick. I mean, this is a sport where people are looking at you. You are the product. You decide whether or not you win or you lose. So this was the first chapter of Schwarzenegger's career where it was very me focused. Then he became an actor. And once he became an actor, he realized that he didn't have as much control. He was one of those individuals who would act. He would do a little bit of directing every now and then, but he was predominantly an actor. See, when you're acting, that's only one part of the entire spectrum. Other parts of a movie includes filmmaking, it includes writing, there's the cameraman, editing, the movie studios, how much money are you going to get, the talent that's going to be put in your movie, and much more. In this stage, he did not have as much control, but still, there was more control than the next chapter of his life, which we're going to get to shortly. This stage taught him the value of teamwork, the value of looking beyond only yourself. Now, once he was doing this stage of his career, his in-laws, who were connected to the Kennedys, they were like, Arnold, what are you doing? I mean, you're over here creating movies, playing action heroes and stuff. I mean, you're not really doing anything for society. How about you do something for society and you make an impact? So around the stage, Arnold Schwarzenegger was over here touring with George Bush Sr. He was involved in the government to help them make exercise important, along with a lot of other initiatives in the political space. And that's what has planted the germ of the idea of him getting involved in politics. And I'm sure you understand what the third chapter is. That's when he got involved in politics. He was elected the governor of California for the recall election. And at this stage, he saw that he had to work for the people. He was shocked because so many of these lifelong politicians were not working for the people. What they were really doing was they were working for their parties. If you were someone that could find a middle ground territory to help the people that you serve, these lifelong politicians were ridiculing you. They were like, well, what are you doing, man? I mean, you're like this party. You're supposed to go against this party, not work with this party. Arnold Schwarzenegger, being an outsider who spent years building his skills, his craft, his businesses, did not see it like that. Politics was never meant to be seen as that. Politics is meant to be selfless service. So him having the paradigm of an outsider allowed him to see the holes in politics. Now, I'm not going to be talking about his whole career and everything like that, but I do find it very fascinating of the transformation that he made from being a, hey, look at me bodybuilder to eventually trying his best to do a form of selfless service by getting in the political arena. So is politics a waste of time? I think it really depends on the person that you're speaking to. It's such a subjective question, but if you were to ask me, it is not a waste of time. It's something that it's great to remain aware of. However, if you're not trying to be a lifelong politician right now, spend some time building real world projects, real world influence. So if you do enter the political arena, you're capable of seeing both sides and not rushing to judgments. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to sign up for my free daily newsletter for more insights on a variety of topics dealing with psychology, dealing with public speaking, communication skills, and much more. Join the tribe by checking out the link in the description box, the pinned comment, or go on ArmaniTalks.com/newsletter and sign up today. Thank you very much for joining the Armani Talks YouTube channel, and I'll catch you next time.